Oh, yeah.
So, you got a girlfriend? I'm just like, there's like, no. And you see Doug Smith, like,
Yeah, he's like, he gets the angriest look on his face. and yeah, at that point, yeah, then he just shows, I love computers, which is another line in there. All right, go work. Kevin, everyone, give him some applause. Tell Kyle to stop calling me. Anyway.
what?
Yeah, tell Kyle to stop calling me. Anyway. I hang up for a reason. So, want to hear about the last cosplay? There's one more. It's even better. And you're never going to see a video of this because JFX, at the time, didn't have anyone recording it, which really, that really bummed me out. The basic premise of this was we had Kevin returning once again as Ryu from Breath of Fire. And then we had Mikoko Fuku there, of course. He didn't do a reveal that time, he just kind of came out. My wife was there. She played as kind of the, that is her game director. My wife played as kind of a logarithm of every Yuffie character in RPGs ever. And my other friend Sully, he played the 4Kids executive. Is 4Kids even relevant anymore? Do you guys know how horrible they are?
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Come to my censorship panel. We're going to be making fun of 4Kids. But at that time, they were now mangling Tokyo Mew Mew by calling it Hollywood Mew Mew.
Oh, that's disgusting.
That never came out, to my knowledge. And so people were really riled up. So he comes out, my friend comes out there dressed as an executive, and he's just like, oh, freaks, I'm 4Kids. And the wave of boos was so loud, we couldn't hear our cue. So anyway, we ended up doing basically this whole parody of RPGs where we're doing turn-based attacks and everything. And it kind of just, in the end, Big Uncle Fuku, my wife, the standard female fast character, and Kevin as Ryu, we're all fighting him. And it looks like he's going to win in the end, except at one point, early on in the whole thing, Kevin, dressed as Ryu from Breath of Fire, mind you, starts doing this, the whole Hadoken motion. And for anyone who's seen the Street Fighter II VTV series, when Ryu first learns the Hadoken, it takes him seriously 3 episodes of standing at a beach, swirling his arms around, and eventually he fires it off, and for half an episode he's passed out on the beach. It's when the production had bad funding going on there. So obviously they repeated animation anyhow. So he's standing there doing that for the entire cosplay, and eventually fires off a Hadoken and defeats him in the end. So that is that. So Big Uncle Fuku was kind of retired for years, and then Glass City Con came along. Josh. Call security. I know that from the phones that are here. All right. Anyway. So I won't go into the kind of details unless you want to. So we're kind of playing around with this con idea, and eventually I'm like, oh, we don't have a name. Actually, we might have one. But I have a mascot. Him, the one on the left. Big Uncle Fuku. Not the exact one, though. You know what it looks like. So yeah, it's and everyone was like, that's weird, but very cool. So we started working with that. Named the con after him, called it Fuku Con. Why do you think that we had to change that name? Yeah, it's
people don't know how to pronounce Japanese words.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
So yes, what's our panel? We have 13 and up, right? Okay, so people were like, hey, it's Fuck You Con! No, it's Fuku. Yeah, we try and explain to them, no, you can't do that. So it became Grasamishi Con and then CityCon, because people couldn't pronounce Grasamishi Con anyway. So we have the idea. We'll get to your appearance in a minute. We had this idea of using Big Uncle Fuku. The guy who was just up here, and our MC Josh, is also an artist, and he drew the original sketch concept for Big Uncle Fuku, which if you go to the con merch and purchase a shirt, you can see the classic Big Uncle Fuku design. he altered several elements of it to make, because just to match his vision of him. And then someone was looking at the artwork and he's like, hey, that looks like Tony. I think Tony should be the mascot. And I'm like, well, it's kind of my creation. I want to kind of keep him there, and then people wanted Tony as the mascot. So I'm like, now wait a minute. Why don't we have, like the new Big Uncle Fuku, I'm dropping this stuff everywhere. This is really vodka. Why don't we have Tony, be the new Big Uncle Fuku, who's kind of like, this kind of represented the whole conflict with Josh and everything, and making him get my artwork the way I wanted it, and it never really succeeded there. And then we have me playing the old Big Uncle Fuku, the classic design, and they're just kind of going at it because he's taken over his image.
I'm better and better looking.
I don't know. We'll leave that for the scholars to decide. And
I carry a big hammer.
so yeah, Tony added a lot to the character. It basically, it was Josh who did most of the designs you see here. This wonderful bald head and this loose ribbon here, and he did most of the design work.
Unibrow, if I didn't put it in his shirt.
He had a big unibrow. It was amazing. The costume, Amanda did that costume, right? Yeah, she did that. Yeah, that was Amanda Cupris. She actually will be the one dressed as the Lolita pirate. She's out at A of Blue Studios. Buy some of her stuff. She's amazing. But she threw this costume together, and
I made a hammer.
he made the hammer, and he brought that into the play. And I'm like, okay, well, I need a wrench, but I need a ridiculous wrench. So that's what you saw the old Big Uncle Fuku carrying around. That was done by, he's working in tabletop right now, Sean Eisenhower. He designed that by hand, so that was awesome. You might see the old Uncle Fuku carrying around a smaller wrench later on, just because, like we saw in the game, just because it's kind of a hazard. We're violating our own cosplay rules by walking around that massive thing and knocking people over. So, anywho, so we had those two fight it out and everything, and it was a pretty standard duel, and it was kind of left up to a kind of a draw in a way, because they were told to just agree to let each other be, and then the new Uncle Fuku whacks the old back and it runs off. That was that. So the next year, for those of you who missed it, they decided that they were going to have the final battle, which is a big event in this room for the cosplay contest. And then they come out, face each other, and then it's paper, scissors, rock. And the old Uncle Fuku won. But the next day, he decided to take his title and say, okay, I'm going to fight you in the cosplay arena, which is going to be happening down the Bender. And the old Uncle Fuku lost. And so it was kind of a draw. So they decided, forget the whole closing ceremony thing, let's just go ahead and save it to next year. And so you saw the conflict. The new Uncle Fuku used a lot of really cheap moves and didn't really win. So whatever.
You saw the film. Who won? Who was doing the finishing move?
Be that as
He
it
would have
may.
been smashed to the ground.
So you might see those two like battling it out later today. Who's to say? So kind of keep an eye out. They might show up in random places. Yeah, we'll get them in here, and we'll definitely see those two cosplay contests, I'm sure. Questions?
Well, not really a question, but I must say that you guys were my first con 2 years ago,
Awesome.
and somehow Big Uncle Fuku, old Big Uncle Fuku, still stays on.
Very good. You win the prize.
He's in my heart today.
You guys, the next panel? Feel free to come in. So, anyone else have any questions? I know we didn't really touch on the con history too much, just briefly. Obviously, we're out of time. We have Link-Wise here.
They use the costume.
Who are going to be screening their movie cosplayers. In theory. I gotta give it a screen. But, I'll get there. We will leave the stage sheet. You guys set up. So,
Thanks for coming to our